Okay, so hi again. So we have solved this problem, so we can continue with the AI-driven decision support system that we have built in this project. Here is the presentation outline. We will have see a short overview what a decision support system is and what we have done in our project regarding to this, starting from technical architecture and implementation details, our core part that is our recommenders, our user interface is designed because that it's really important because this tool is for end users coming from the industrial sector. And of course, a few words about the pilot applications that we will have the opportunity to see some more examples after this presentation in upcoming sessions. So in general, a decision support system is a kind of software that is used in many domains and of course also in kind of manufacturing domain for support users to make decisions. And this kind of software should provide some possible options and suggestions or recommendations to a user. It's a kind of system that uses data and knowledge from different areas and sources. This is what happened so far, and was trying to inform about possible actions and provide some kind of reports and summaries and try to go beyond of that. As components, traditional DSS systems are based from a kind of software algorithms from databases, and they support some user interfaces. All these kind of concepts are, of course, coming to our approach as well, in which we plus some more extension. So what we did was to try to position AI in the center of this decision support system in order to provide our framework for decision support. We try to provide both data analysis and inference in this framework alongside with other functionalities. We try to support various types of connectivity such as HTTP and MQTT protocols, WebSockets, and also data space connectors is something that lately has arisen and something that we adapt as well. We try to support different types of recommenders, as I said. Both we need recommenders both from AI itself, and also we need recommenders for the pilot cases and the specific needs of the users. We provide web-based interfaces. We try also to add explainable AI mechanisms here in order to connect with the whole concept of what we said before about Industry 5, that we're trying to position human in the loop and not to replace human. There are a lot of human knowledge that is good to be embedded in systems, and any of the modern systems is good to be able to use this knowledge coming from the domain experts. And of course, we support, as I said, various other functionalities such as KPIs and so on, that we can find them in different decision support systems. So here is the technical architecture of our framework here. We have different kind of connections that we support. We can support connection with the digital twin of the project. We are able to get data both from historical storages, but also from real-time brokers and so on. We can also embed the domain knowledge here, and of course to support execution of AI models. The core part that we have, of course, is the recommenders as a DSS system. We have a kind of hybrid recommender for AI model suggestions, and also we have a causal logic inference recommender for support end users for the decision making on even on real time in the shop floor. Here we have the main technologies that we were used to build our tool. Of course, the recommenders are based on Python and Neo4j for ontological graph development for the hybrid recommender. We have here, of course, the front-end part that is based on NGX admin framework that provide us faster implementation, and we can create interfaces based on predefined templates. Of course, Angular Material here is used, and some libraries for creating and representing graphs such as Chart.js, etc. Of course, we need technologies for the communication, security, and deployment. So we used Keycloak for identity management here. We're using Elasticsearch for database path. We have Docker containers for the deployment of the component, etc. And let's move on our two recommenders. Let's start from the hybrid recommender here for the optimal AI model selection. So this recommender is based on nodology that have been extended for the purposes of the project. Here we can see the details of a model and the task that can be represented in this ontology. And after that, based on that, we can provide inference about various aspects of a model, and we can select the best available AI model for and strategy, not only model to solve a specific task. And all this information can be done available through the interfaces, and also user can use this part of recommendation in order to deploy the relevant model for execution, and to be one that can provide the analysis to the user for further decision support. And the other part is the part that is coming with connection to the end user. This one is not that agnostic as the previous one that is more generic about the AI models. This is specific to solve. There are specific recommenders to solve a problem in the shop floor. We have two kinds of recommendation engines here. We have a fuzzy logic one and a causal inference one. And we try to provide recommendations about specific key performance indicators and how to alert and solve various parts and problems that are faced in the shop floor and so on. We will have the opportunity to see in the pilot session some demo of this. Regarding the user interface design, we keep a bit the common pattern with the marketplace that we have seen before. We try to keep some feeling about the same feeling with all interfaces in the project, and also we're using some common ecosystem UI elements such as buttons and so on. Our idea was to build some dashboards for data analysis and visualization, to provide some specific tabs for alerts and notifications. We have specific tabs for explainable AI, and we present importance of various features that has a significant impact in an AI model. So the idea is to not have the AI as a black box anymore, but we want to make them more interpretable, so a user to be more confident about the results of an AI model and see if in any case they should accept the results or not. Maybe a model can say that, okay, here we have an anomaly, but if they check in explainable AI part and see that the features that were used, or if the metrics are not that high, so a user can maybe not consider that much that, okay, maybe this is not an anomaly, just a problem of the model. And so on. And of course, as I said, we present graph representations, tables, and so on. The input that we have for all of them are both live and historical data, and we give special focus also to the user input, so the interaction with the user with various control elements. We have applied the decision support framework of the project in the three pilot cases that we have. We try to solve a problem related to sales forecasting and production scheduling. We have also to solve a zero defect manufacturing problem. It was based on visual inspection, so a user can load images and be able to get information and suggestion if it's a defect or not. And we have a real-time anomaly detection solution for the Cautex coming from Brussels. For the last two, we will see also demos in the upcoming sessions. Here we have some examples how the decision support framework looks like and how have been deployed in the three different cases. For example, okay, besides the homepage, we can see that for the sales forecasting for milk production in Parmalat, we can see the various figures and insights on that. We can see how we can provide defect detection and especially defect localization for the Bonfilioli use case for a specific image during the quality check part of a building that they are built here. We can see how the causal inference looks like and how we represent the connections between various parameters that can affect that can affect a suggestion for an anomaly or not. In the Caltech case here that we have this real anomaly detection, we can see KPI parameters of a model, such as accuracy, precision, X-score, etc. And we can see how an explainable AI dashboard can looks like for the anomaly transformer case, and see which are the most important features that we used for a decision. We will have a demo on that. And as I said, please wait for the demos. Will come in later session with the pilot cases. I think that's it from my side for today. You will have no more from me.